How did you get that?
It was left for me.
How do you know him?
Intimately.
He's my son.
I feel that I should inform you that I love him.
My name is Tokarzyk, and my character is Mona. I am George's mother.
My name is Jonathan Lynch, and I am playing George.
My name is Eva Gonzalez, and I will be playing the subway rider.
Relational dialectics is basically the struggle between any type of relationship, whether it's the relationship of family, the relationship of friends, the relationship of a partner, and just how a person deals with that, the struggles that they have, and how it's just how people interact with one another in a push and pull kind of way.
Relational dialectics I interpret as how someone handles relationships, whether it be a romantic relationship with friends, family, how one handles relationships and interacts with people they know.
Well, relational dialectics is basically how a person handles close personal relationships and everything that comes with close personal relationships, whether it being family, friendships, or romantic relationships.
Her heart got broken by another person, so she put up a wall protecting herself from that, and as well as her son. She wanted to protect her son. As far as relational dialects go, I feel that Mona used that barrier of protection because of a past experience of brokenheartedness, that she wouldn't have another struggle like that again, because she struggled with people in the past, and she didn't want that type of struggle anymore, nor for her son.
To George, to be honest, I feel like he doesn't understand relationships. He almost ignores it in a way. He's a little clueless when he meets people like on a subway, or the way he is with his mother. He's very close to his mom, like his best friend, but I see George as someone who doesn't really have a lot of friends, doesn't know how to interact with people at work or at a party, and close relationships is something that's almost like a foreign language to him.
Well, my character, I would say that she hasn't had many close personal friendships because she's very quirky. So through that, she's kind of been a loner. Like, the closest relationship she's probably had is with her parents. And so being in this, like, what she thinks is a new turbulent romance with the guy is, she just doesn't know how to handle it. And so she's just going from everything and using all these different media forms as examples of how to handle being in a relationship.
Mona and George have like this really close-knit relationship just because George has always been with her, and George never really had any other type of close relationship. The subway rider is significantly opposite of Mona because she's always happy, outgoing, she's very romantic, and their relationship is very, it's an opposite push-pull struggle just to even get along, since the subway rider is living in her house, and it's an interesting relationship just because Mona's trying to interact with someone different other than her son.
With the subway rider, when he meets her, he's a little confused. He's definitely not very interested. He doesn't understand her. She's a little out there, and George is very to himself. He's very relaxed. And yet, when he meets other people who are a little crazy, he's a little, get away from me, wants nothing to do with them. With his mother, as his best friend, is someone who raised him and taught him to watch out for feelings and emotions so you won't get hurt, like the way she did.
Well, subway rider with George, she's in love, but he doesn't really notice her. So it's very awkward because she thinks they're like two people who've been in love for years, but to him they're just kind of like people who know each other and talked once, and she just continues talking to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then with Mona, she's just this weird girl who's in love with her son, who comes and says that she doesn't really know him, but she's in love with him, and it's kind of like a mother-daughter relationship, I would say. Or at least that's what it turns into by the end.
What I did is I just thought of any type of personal experience that I had to deal with, any type of struggle, any type of interaction with people that I could use for Mona's character. Just any type of experience that I've had that I would need to feel guarded, I would need to feel like I can't open up to people. Any type of traumatic experience that would make me feel that way. So I would just think of that, and I would portray that onto my character.
I try to look at George and how he would interact with a subway rider and his mother, and then put that into my performance. Think about, if I met someone, I would be friendly to them and talk to them and things like that. But when George meets someone on the subway, he's not interested in that social interaction, and very awkward when it comes to things like that. So,
Can I ask you a personal question?
I
How come we never talk on the subway ride home?
never see you on the way home. Anyway, that's when I
Read the paper.
Yeah.
That's how come you never see me. We often overlap, sometimes for more than one stop.
It's a whole world in itself.
Yeah, it's about this world.
Yeah.
So you're missing this world because you're busy reading about it?
No, I'm missing work. I'm missing my stop.
Well, from reading the script and analyzing characters, then you look at what relationships have the most tension. I know with previous characters, you look at like whether they're married and how they talk to that person. Like if it's oh, we're gonna be cute and cartoony and have a phenomenal marriage type thing and have an adorable little relationship, or I really don't like your character, I'm gonna, I don't know, slap them in the face or something because I just hate them so much.
I think Mona is just that type of person, and I've met a lot of people like that, where they feel like they can't open up to people just because they are afraid to get their heart broken again. I think that she can be fixed, but it takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. She's a great person, it's just very awkward to even communicate.
George is different, very different from myself. I find that, like I said, he's very awkward, he's non-social. I'm a friendly person. I would go out of my way to talk to someone I don't know. I'll meet someone, start a conversation with them. George would want nothing to do with that. It's very scheduled, every day he does this, nothing changes. Kind of boring. I don't look, my life, I wish it was boring sometimes, but it's not.
I think my character's a little bit nutty. She's very naive, but she has a really, really good heart. She's very, very kind-hearted and very genuine and honest, and she's just so naive and innocent that nobody's ever told her, like, yeah, you don't really do that in real life.
I think it's actually it's a different story than I've never really had a chance to read or interact in any type of way with that kind of storyline, and I really enjoy it. I think the show is going really well. The characters, the subway rider and George, I feel like and Mona, I feel they're all similar in a way, but all different at the same time, and I feel like a lot of people could relate to those types of characters just because how we interact with one another is different in all types. How Mona interacts with George is different how Mona interacts with the subway rider, just because of their different personalities and their different experiences in the past.
Think of the show, it's a very interesting show. In my background in theater, I'm a much more musical theater dance person. When I come across plays like this, I find it very interesting in the messages they give and how people interact, and it's not always jazz hands and tap dancing around the stage.
I think it's an interesting way to show, like, first love. It's an interesting take on first love, using it as just seeing it from one point of view. But I think it's a little, I guess I'm going to say stereotypical, to have the girl be the one falling head over heels and being like, oh, I love you so much, oh my god, but you don't even know me, oh.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like if the subway rider was a guy, it would be really, really interesting just to see how it would play out.
Well, the one that, I have two, but I think the one that, if I had to witness it, I think it's the one where the subway rider is trying really hard just to interact with George on the subway, where she's just creeping by and just trying really hard to talk to him, and he's just blatantly ignoring her. I can't really watch myself, but I hear other people laughing at the dating part, so I mean, I'm not really sure how other people will react, but I feel like both of those would get really positive responses.
Funniest scene in this show, I believe, would be almost everything that deals with the subway rider. Especially when she is slipping tapes into George's bag on the subway. I think her entrance is very interesting, and the audience would enjoy it.
I would either have to say scene 3.5, where I slip the tape into the subway rider's satchel, or when I'm doing my film noir scene.
Okay. Very good. And you said the subway rider's bag. You are the subway rider. You slipped it into George's bag.
George's bag. They don't need to know that. They don't need to know I slip things into George's bag. It's just to confuse them.